I've got big news for you. Fidelity is looking to launch its own stablecoin. New SEC Chair Paul Atkins had his confirmation hearing today, and there were some very big takeaways, including Gary Gensler getting called the stupidest person in government, and Circle is partnering with the parent company of the New York Stock Exchange to integrate USDC. And the SEC drops more cases against Crypto.com, Kraken Silva case, and much more. I'll give you all the details. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, I'm back from the DC Blockchain Summit, which was yesterday, and guys, it was an amazing event hosted by the Digital Chamber. There were over 20 members of Congress there in attendance, and the vibes were off the charts. It was a much larger crowd than last year, probably 4 times larger, guys. It's amazing. In DC, there's just great vibe and buzz around crypto, and everyone is optimistic. So I'll be publishing my interviews from the event in the coming days, so stay tuned for those. Now, guys, big news coming out of Fidelity. They are planning to launch their own stablecoin. Guys, all of Wall Street, all the banks are all in. As I've been saying, the shackles are off with SOB 121 being removed and the FDIC and the OCC loosening up policies with Operation Choke Point. So competition is heating up here. And as I've been saying, many of the crypto startups like exchanges and even stablecoin issuers and much more need to up their game because the banks and big time players are coming in. And if you recall, just about a month ago, Bank of America's CEO said they would launch a stablecoin once stablecoin legislation is passed. So I hope you see what's happening. Things are heating up and the bull market is still on, and we got to go through the volatility. I know the volatility is hard sometimes, but we got to stomach it and have the macro outlook. And we also had news that Circle is partnering with the Intercontinental Exchange, which is the parent company of the New York Stock Exchange. They own the New York Stock Exchange. So they are going to do integration of USDC into their market products and infrastructure. This is amazing. Guys, when I was saying over the years that crypto will be on stock exchanges and much more, I wasn't kidding. I saw the technology getting to this level, and look at what's happening. This is a major partnership, a huge win for Circle and USDC adoption. Huge news here. Now, we also got news that Wyoming plans to launch its own fiat-backed stablecoin, the WYST token, by July 2025, making it the first U.S. state to issue a government-backed crypto. And if you recall, Custodia Bank, which is headed up by Caitlin Long, which is based in Wyoming, is also launching the first bank-backed stablecoin. Huge stuff here. And Representative Brian Style and Congressman Hill have formally introduced the Stable Act on the House floor. Now, there's a version in the Senate called the Genius Act, which was introduced by Senator Haggerty. But if you caught my interview with Congressman Brian Style just from the other day, guys, I highly recommend you watch it. Not because I want the views, but he gives a full breakdown of what's coming. So the House introduced its own version, and that's going to pass. And according to reports, it's about 80% the same as the Genius Act in the Senate. So things are moving ahead. President Trump said he wanted the bills for both crypto market structure and stablecoin legislation on his desk before the August recess. Things are moving great here. And like I said, guys, check out that interview that I did with Congressman Style. It gives you just a lot of context and details. I'm very bullish on this year and crypto legislation being passed. Now, quick word from our sponsor, and that is VeChain. VeChain is one of the top layer 1 enterprise blockchains out there. Many brands and companies are building Web3 and sustainability projects on the VeChain blockchain. I've been a VET token holder since 2018, guys, so I'm bullish on this project. Some of the features of the VeChain blockchain includes it's secure, affordable, scalable, fast, and sustainable. And some of the brands and companies they work with include Givenchy, Walmart China, BMW, PwC, Boston Consulting Group, and many others. So if you'd like to learn more, go to vchain.org. Link will be in the description. Now, today was the hearing for SEC Chair Paul Atkins, his confirmation. So this is the normal process, and he should be in office probably in like mid-April. But a lot of dialogue, a lot of things said. You had your pro-crypto folks there, your anti-crypto folks like Elizabeth Warren. So one of the things he said in his opening remarks, Paul Atkins, that is, he says, a top priority for my chairmanship will be to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets through rational, coherent, and principled approach. So this is really great. And here are some other takeaways from the hearing, which Paul Grewal, Chief Legal Officer at Coinbase, outlined. He said, one, Mr. Atkins affirmed his commitment to an SEC that works transparently with the industry and consumer input. What a refreshing change from the past. Number two, Mr. Atkins emphasized that digital assets are a top priority this year. Getting workable rules and regulatory clarity for crypto will unlock US-based innovation, new markets for investors, and benefit American consumers and America's position as a global technological and economic leader. Parallel work on legislation and at the SEC can get us there, and Atkins' leadership at the latter will be boon for clarity. Number three, Mr. Atkins and the comptroller of the currency nominee, Jonathan Gould, addressed debanking and committed to end this undemocratic practice for good. As Mr. Atkins put it, it's time for the SEC to get back to basics. He'll be a breath of fresh air atop a crucial oversight and rulemaking agency, and I look forward to his official confirmation by the committee and full Senate soon. So, guys, really great to have Paul in, and he absolutely gets it. And as you can imagine, he's probably already had conversations with Hester Peirce, Mark Ueda, and I don't think Hester Peirce and Mark Ueda would be doing the things they're doing, dropping cases and so forth, if Paul wasn't in agreement. So, guys, things are lining up here beautifully for the market. Now, here was a statement from Senator Tim Scott about Paul Atkins. He says, one thing I can say about the SEC is that under your predecessor, Gary Gensler, of course, there was no golden age. Now, this one is funny. Bernie Moreno, remember, he beat Elizabeth Warren's anti-crypto army general, Sherrod Brown, in the state of Ohio, right? That was a huge win for crypto and a big loss for the Democrats. He made an incredible statement saying Gary Gensler was one of the stupidest people in government. Let me play the clip for you.
I'll start with you, Mr. Atkins. Man, you just have to be able to breathe and not be a complete raging lunatic, and you're going to be the greatest SEC commissioner compared to the last guy. I mean, congratulations on coming after Gary Gensler, who objectively probably was one of the stupidest people in government.
I 100% agree and endorse that statement, Congressman Bernie Moreno, or Senator Bernie Moreno. Oh my goodness. But look, we talked about it over the years, guys. Gary Gensler was just a lapdog. He was just doing Elizabeth Warren's bidding, and they were both doing the bidding of the TradFi incumbents who were getting disrupted. That was the game. They didn't just wake up one day and say, oh, we hate crypto. No, they were lobbied by those traditional folks and who wanted to slow crypto down. We saw Elizabeth Warren show her cards when her and Jamie Dimon, guys, I believe it was in mid 2024 or early 2024, where she had that hearing and her and Jamie were trashing crypto left and right. And that was a big reveal. Her and Jamie Dimon, a big bank CEO, aligning, right? Elizabeth Warren, because that was the game. We know Jamie Dimon doesn't like Bitcoin and crypto. It takes money out of his pockets. He's getting disrupted. He doesn't like stable coins. He wants everything to flow through JP Morgan. And JP Morgan's the largest bank among all the US banks. So he was at the king of the hill. He was sitting at the top of the mountain. And now he's getting disrupted. So that was the whole game, guys. All right. Now, speaking of the SEC has officially closed its investigation into Crypto.com, no enforcement actions. So they continue to drop cases against exchanges and different crypto companies, which is just really great. They also announced a dismissal of a civil enforcement action against Bitcoin and crypto exchange Kraken. So even these smaller cases are getting dismissed here. And as far as official notice, right, we've been talking about the Ripple case and how the Ripple team is saying, hey, we wrapped this up with the SEC. We just need the official word, right? Well, the SEC has formally announced litigation dismissal against Kraken, Consensus, and Cumberland. Remember, these were announced about a month ago. So this is why you need to be patient. And I don't think the Ripple team's going to come out and say something and lie to everybody, right? It's just like these companies were making those announcements, but we didn't hear from the SEC. Now we're getting confirmation. This is really great, guys. So be patient on the confirmation for many of these cases that are getting dropped. Like crypto.com, you're probably not going to get a official statement from the SEC maybe until a week from now or another month. Now, speaking of Ripple, Africa's payments landscape is evolving and crypto-enabled transactions are at the center. Ripple and Chipper Cash are teaming up to enable faster, more cost-effective cross-border payments into Africa using Ripple payments. So we know part of Ripple payments is XRP. Not every aspect or every respective market is going to use XRP or the XRP ledger or even a stablecoin. They're going to probably use some blockchain technology. But as Ripple expands its network, it increases the chances of the XRP ledger, the stablecoin, and much more being used. So really big news here. Moving ahead, so a case was actually dismissed against Coinbase. This seemed like a small case. Paul Grewal, chief legal officer at Coinbase, says the dominoes keep falling. South Carolina just joined Vermont to dismiss its unfounded staking lawsuit against Coinbase. Staking will be back soon for users in South Carolina. So we see that staking has been a big topic for the SEC, and I anticipate Ethereum staking in the ETFs is going to be around the corner, and they're going to give clarity on staking as well. And these exchanges will be able to add staking where you can earn the passive rewards, guys. So make sure you take advantage of this. This is something I'm definitely doing, and all of the draconian, rules and things that we're putting into place under the Biden administration are going to be rolled back. So this is really great. Now, just the other day, I told you guys that GameStop, they will be adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet. Well, apparently, they're looking to raise $1.3 billion to purchase Bitcoin. So we'll see what they're able to achieve. Hopefully, they take some of their cash reserves, which I believe is over $4 billion, and use that towards buying Bitcoin. And they don't use the leverage model. That's where I'm a bit concerned. A little bit of leverage, not a big deal. What Michael Saylor and Strategy is doing worries me. Not that I want anything bad to happen. I'm not calling for anything bad to happen there. But when the leverage gets to a certain level, we've seen this in different markets, right? When you have too much leverage, it just takes a little thing in the system to collapse the whole house of cards, if you want to call it that. So I hope they don't go too crazy with this. A little bit is okay. Now, final news item. Along the lines of Bitcoin investment or crypto investment, we got reports saying that more U.S. states are eyeing crypto as an investment. 17 states allow or propose crypto as a reserve asset, 16 moving toward pension fund inclusion. Crypto ETFs and regulations boost confidence in adoption. Current allocation remains small, but policy shifts are underway. President Trump plans to advance a U.S. crypto strategy. So, as I've been saying, on the federal level, if the green light's there from the president, and it is, right, in Congress, these states will feel comfortable in doing this, right? Especially when you can go through the ETFs. I think many of the pension funds from the states are going to go the ETF route. They'll go to BlackRock, Fidelity, and the other ETF issuers. And that will be the safest bet for them because they trust these brand names and these institutions. And it's an ETF wrapper, so there's protections. So I don't think they're going to buy Bitcoin directly and custody it, where they control the private keys. I think they'll want to go to ETF route, which makes sense. I think they have to be as risk averse as possible. So, guys, things are heating up. I know some of you are going to say, "What about the price?" I always see that people are like, "Oh, good news, but the price is down," and they think again. I harp on this, and I'm not trying to be mean. Good news does not equate to pumps. Sometimes things are priced in ahead of time, and you have to understand the market cycles we're in. You have to take that next step to understand that and how liquidity works and the macro, which is what I've been sharing with you guys nonstop in the newsletter, on the podcast as well. So please take the extra step to educate yourself about that. And a great way you can do that is checking out my new course, which covers all of that, market cycles. And you're going to hear expert commentary from founders, CEOs, institutional investors, and much more, guys. So check out that course at mycryptocourse.com. Sign up for my email newsletter. It's 100% free on Substack. Link will be in the description. And check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. Guys, thank you for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.